Alright, so before this video starts, I just want to give you a quick rundown of what it's actually going to look like on what my plan is. So as you can see in the yard right now, there's nothing, but essentially what it's going to be, the haunted trail portion is going to be like last year, just because I need to do it in a month instead of 2, because I need more time for the haunted house than I do for the trail. So it's going to start out here with the Home Depot cemetery archway. And then you're going to walk through here. We're going to have it exactly like last year. I still have the measurements down on a sheet. And there're going to be some like garden stakes all through here with caution tape. There will be maybe some little like spider webs up there. So you're going to keep walking through here. I don't know. This year I might maybe make it curve around a little bit here. Or I might keep it the same. I don't know, because I do think that I want this space for the cemetery. But anyway, so then as we move forward, we're then going to go over here. Last year I was able to kind of bury this lip a little bit, so I'll do that same thing this year. Okay, then you'll walk through here, and there will be the I think a striking zombie hand. I think I've made a video on that. Pop-up zombie. He's broken. Don't know if I'm going to be able to fix him in time. Maybe I'll put Mr. Dark here, because I did pre-order him, although I think he might go over there. But anyway, so you'll keep walking. Then you can go... Oopsie. Sorry about that. I ran out of storage here. I've had so many clips that I've recorded this season that need to get that all done. But anyway, so you're going to be walking through here, and then you will go through here. There will be, I already have a Velcro up from last year where the Jemmy eyeball doorbell will be. So then you'll walk all the way through here. Like so. Oopsie, sorry about this. Sorry, I'm really bad. Gimbals are awesome, but it does suck that you kind of have to readjust them. But anyway, so then you'll walk through here. You'll go towards here, and then there will be a path that will lead you into this garage. So yeah, I will start building, and I will cut to an update right now. So yeah. Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to show you some of the supplies that we have here. So obviously, very crowded right now, but you can see some of the poles, some of the lighting. Instead of buying caution tape at Spirit this year, because it's so expensive, I'm just buying caution tape at Home Depot, because $8, I mean, and you get so much more. So I've given up on getting it at Spirit. So yeah, I will start building now. I won't be doing time lapses or anything like that, or maybe I'll try to do a few, but for now, I just don't think that this will be that interesting, so I'm just putting a bunch of poles in the ground. So I will cut to when I have the first part of that done and just show you what I will be doing. So yeah. Alright, so I definitely did not expect to be back to you this early right here, but essentially, what I have to do, I'm sorry, there's just a car driving really slow, but last year, I did it in about a week. This year, I have all the poles in like an hour, which is absolutely insane. So, first of all, I'm glad that I'm doing it now, because it's a little bit closer to evening now. It's still like only 3, but it's a little bit closer to evening, so there isn't quite as much wind, which is good, because August is kind of the windy month here. So I'll just take you through now that you have a better idea of the structure. You can kind of see all the little poles and things here. So essentially, starting off when you walk through here, obviously it'll be way more defined than this because there will be caution tape, but there will be the cemetery archway a little bit before these first 2 poles right here, and then I will also have the hauntress right behind it, kind of popping out like that. I might have to extend her sensor a little bit because her pop out is a little bit delayed, or at least on mine, so that it can be a little bit closer to here, so that kind of when you're walking in she pops out and she doesn't pop out late. And I also have to figure out some sort of system where she can't hit people. But for now, this is how it's going to be. There will also be a screen box up where the archway is. I have the archway coming in my mom's car, and my mom isn't home yet, so I can't really show what the archway is going to look like right now. But anyway, so you're going to walk through here, and right over here in these trees, I'm going to have just a little zombie scene is what I usually do in here. Animatronics, usually I don't, except for last year I had Morning Glory, because there was a little bit more of a grass space right here that I had free. But there are probably going to be some spider webs, a couple little ground breakers in there, some lighting. That's just kind of going to be a creepy animatronic free area, although I might have a couple of little hanging guys, including a broken floating ghost girl up there, because I'm going to hardwire her eyes to a battery so that way her eyes can light up. But I don't know. I'll be figuring what this tree area is later, but I am really glad that I have this area because it always looks awesome. Over here, I'm going to have nothing, because if you've watched my channel for a while, then you know that my haunts used to go that you would walk down the driveway and then the display would be in here, but you would just kind of be looking at it. I can't do that anymore. I can, but it just doesn't look as good. And considering that we've only had 1 year here where there was still a tiny bit of snow on the ground right here, and it was like a patch over there, I moved to using the lawn, because I think it's a much better system. Hopefully I don't jinx it with the snow, though. So then, moving on, maybe I'll put something over here, actually. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of... You guys are watching my planning process right here. I don't entirely know what I'll be doing, that I will figure something out. So let's see here. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the camera so it can actually focus right here. There we go. So nothing right here. I might put some. We'll see. Again, you will be seeing that in future haunt builds, so don't worry about that. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. My gimbal has been totally freaking out lately. Like, DJI, what the heck? So then, over here, I will probably just have a little scene with, like, maybe a creepy doll or something. But then, moving on, we have a wonderful, wonderful little... Okay. Alright, kind of surprising that I'm done here. Last year I got it done in a week. This year I got it done in literally an hour, which is insane. That essentially, so I have to look around here and standing in the road right now. That essentially what you'll be doing is there will be the cemetery archway right over here. It is in my mom's car and my mom isn't home yet, so that's why I can't show you it. But it will be right over here, kind of like it was last year with a strobe light up there. However, I have a screen box with a strobe light attached, so that will be a little bit more of an experience. But then you will move over here, and there will be the hauntress right in the back of one of those columns in the cemetery archway. So then she'll pop out like that. I gotta figure out a system where she for sure won't hit people, but we will figure that out later in the season. So then you walk through here. This is my little tree section. I always like to do something in here, like a forest type thing. Usually I'll have zombies. This year I think I'll have a couple of hanging props, some spider webs, stuff like that. Really nothing too interesting, but you'll see. Then over, I don't know, maybe I'll make this something bigger this year. I just know that last year I had stuff in that grass patch right there. This year I cannot do that. So then, over here there will be nothing as usual, just because this right here, I used to do my displays where you would walk down the driveway and there would just be stuff in here to see. But then when trick-or-treaters came, they would be able to, like, go over to the end of the driveway and miss everything, which I don't want that to be able to be done, so that's why I moved it into here. But maybe I'll put something in there this year. That's just kind of to be determined. Then walk over here. Again, maybe I'll put something over here. Don't exactly know. Then we will have the tree section still. Okay, if you walk over here, first of all, you can kind of see the poles right here. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, they still have some of the caution tape from last year on them. I'm not taking that off because that will be a pain to do. And in my opinion, if it's going to be something that nobody's really going to notice, and if they do, they won't care about, then don't spend literal hours trying to fix it. Then anyway, so this, I don't know if I said this before, but literally every single year I have always wanted to do a pumpkin patch theme, and I have never quite had enough pumpkin patch type things to be able to do that, which is really sad because I love pumpkin patch themes. So this year, over here to the side, I will finally be able to have one of those with a bunch of hay bales and maybe some corn stalks, and then I'll have Scorched Scarecrow, hay bale popper, the CVS animated jack-o'-lantern, and I don't know if you remember last year in my haunt, but there was this little skull with a pumpkin in it. I think I've done a demo on it, so that will be there, as well as over here there will be the cemetery area with just a ton of gravestones and the headless horseman, and his horse will probably go somewhere over there. I'm not entirely sure how many animatronics there will be, but this will be the area with the low-lying fog, and I got some awesome tombstones this year to put there, so I'm really excited about that. As well as Mr. Dark will go right back there, just because his jump out, I don't have him yet, but I know for a fact that his jump out is way too big to have him close to these posts. So then over here, Pumpkin Patch Zone will continue. Then you will keep walking through this, and there will be I'm thinking, I don't know, because those trees and stuff technically aren't my yard, so it isn't really like I can do anything in that little kind of area right there, but I am thinking of maybe there will be like a scare actor right here, because again, the scare actors are just a couple of my friends that love to scare people, so I don't know, maybe someone will be right here scaring you. But anyway, so you keep walking here. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, you'll notice that some of these have the lantern hooks from last year, and some of them don't. That's just because the lantern hooks fell off, and because so many of them have them, I'm not going to change that. Especially since the lanterns didn't make a huge difference last year. I thought that those were going to be awesome and define the pathway and everything, but really, considering that there was just so much lighting everywhere else, you didn't really need those. But for the most part, everyone has one of those hooks. This one was short because part of it broke last year, so I had to break off the bottom of it and hammer it in like this. So it's a little short, but that doesn't matter. Then you'll turn over here. This sign, I'm contemplating whether or not to keep that right there. Just entirely because last year, because I couldn't do, cause I wanted to do an indoor haunted house last year. You'll remember at the beginning of the year I was saying that I was going to do that, but then in fact I couldn't because COVID hit. But this year I am actually going to be doing that. That's why I'm trying to get this haunted trail done so quick, so I'm doing it early. So last year, I wanted to have two themes still, but this year, considering that I will have that haunted house, I don't really need to have a theme change. But it was Dead End Cemetery and Forest, so this part was the cemetery, and this part was the forest. Now that there's no theme change, and this is still going to be like a cemetery type area, I don't know if one of these like kind of caution keep out type signs make sense here, but I don't know. I do like this though. I made it last year. It says, "You're next." I try to make the handwriting really shaky and blah blah blah. I mean, my handwriting's bad anyway, but I try to make it extra bad here so it's kind of creepy and rushed, and I crossed out caution. I like it a lot. I think it's pretty cool looking. Then you will cross over to here. There will be Striking Hand right there, and then just a couple of other animatronics. Last year, I was going to have projections in this window, but I didn't have time to put that up. And this year, I don't think I'm going to do that because no one will see that. I think I'm just going to black these out, but I will have projections in another window, just not this one necessarily. So then, moving on to over here. So, Harvester of Souls was over here last year. I don't know if I'll keep him there or if I'll put him in the haunted house. That's kind of something that we'll just have to see, but I think it's honestly more likely that I'll have a different animatronic there. Possibly something simple, possibly something maybe bigger, like maybe a Morning Gory. Oh, Also, one thing that I forgot to mention, sorry that this is so long, back here in this little space, there will be caution tape here like there was last year, but definitely this is an awesome scare actor space right here because you can be kind of towards the back, or maybe it'll be animatronic, I don't know, but either way, you can be towards the back there and then like run at them, I don't know, that's just really cool. Anyway, so moving on, same with here, sorry, I'm just kind of planning this out as I'm filming this. But then we'll walk over here, not going to do the spiderweb thing that I did last year where these were all covered in spiderwebs. That looked so awesome for the first day, but then as they got wet, they started looking really cool and old, because, you know, we have sprinklers and stuff, but then eventually they got just so, like, dilapidated and stuff that it just didn't really look that creepy anymore, so I'm not going to be doing that, and instead this will just be a area with same basic layout as last year, might not even put much here. Maybe the candy will be there. No, I don't think it will, considering that there's still more display. So then you walk over here, and it'll turn out here. So then I'm probably going to be putting this pathway up the night before Halloween, so you won't really see it in many build videos. But there will be a pathway that goes straight right here, and I haven't decided yet which side is going to be the entrance, because I've only taped out the haunted house and started making the walls. That essentially, I'm either going to have it turn in right here so that you can go to the haunted house, and then you can, you know, go through that right there, or I'm going to have it keep going straight, and then you turn into the haunted house right here. You can see some of the tape down there, and then you just go through. I don't know. I think it makes more sense to have it going right there because the pathway will also keep going straight, even if you don't want to go in the haunted house, and then there will be candy kind of right in this area. I'll either have one of my friends handing it out, or if they want to do it, or I'll just have a sitting scarecrow. I don't know. If not, then I'll probably put sitting scarecrow on a remote and just scare people with him. Yeah, and then you will just walk out over here, and that will be it. So, what do you guys think of that? Is there anything that you think that I should change about it? I think I like it. I think it's very similar to last year. Some people might say too similar, but considering that I also have to do an entire haunted house in there, which I've literally never done before, I just don't think it's smart to have the pressure of doing something entirely new. So I'm keeping it the same. That I think it was really cool last year. So yeah, so now I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this done in an hour, because this really took a long time last year. I'm going to put the caution tape on all of these, and then I will get back to you. It might cut to tonight at that point, but I'm hoping that by 10 o'clock tonight I will have the caution tape on and the lights and like lighting done and stuff, and maybe some tombstones. So we will see about that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Or actually, no, I don't think I'm going to end it here. I think I'm going to end it with the caution tape, although this video is going to be so long. So, yeah. Yeah, I will see you when that's done. Okay, so I am shocked that I'm coming at you, and it is still light out. Sorry, I gotta move forward because of the car here. But I have fully gotten the caution tape done, which I am honestly completely shocked about. So as you can see, my mom still is not home, so there is no cemetery archways yet. But by tonight, I'm hoping to have that done. As you can tell, still a little bit windy right now, but that is okay. So let me just take you through this right here. So as you can see, if we go through here, we have this caution tape on either side, which, by the way, I didn't even use up the full roll of it. So literally for $8 I covered this thing versus like 80 for the Spirit caution tape, so I'd use so many rolls of that. So definitely do Home Depot caution tape. And also it's awesome because it doesn't have cheesy sayings like, you know, caution, zombie outbreak, or whatever on it. It just says normal things. So anyway, so we'll move on through here. I've already shown you what all the zones are going to be. I've used some duct tape right over here to actually secure this to that. A lot of big trucks going by, but to secure the caution tape to here, which I did last year too, except last year these were all separate pieces, like each one of these, which was a very unnecessary step last year, but this year it's just all one big piece that is secured with like duct tape, which works very well. I highly recommend caution tape mixed with duct tape, and I'm glad that I chose caution tape last year because I like how it looks, because last year I was spending literal days trying to figure out a better option than caution tape, and I just never did, because last year I kind of thought the caution tape would look really cheap, but I actually like the look. I think it looks really creepy. But anyway, coming through here, still haven't added on the lanterns yet. I don't think I'm going to do a build update for that in this video. I'll probably do an update for when I get decorated. This will probably be all in one video. But anyway, you go through here. I did not intend for this to be as wide as it is. Which worries me a little bit, because the point of this trail being as narrow as it is that typically you will get groups coming through, and I don't like not groups like, you know, multiple people, but like multiple people side by side, which I don't really like, just because, for 3 reasons actually. Reason number 1 is they're usually way more rowdy if they're in kind of a clump. Reason number 2 is they move slower, so they kind of hold everyone up usually, but the main reason is that because they're so squished to the side right here, if they get scared and jump, usually they'll knock over the entire thing. We actually had a kid fall into this right here, this area, and knock over this part, which I felt so bad for the poor kid, though. He thought, because he was really little, and he looked like he thought he was going to get, like, arrested or something. But it was fine. I've kind of designed this so that it's super easy to put back up. But anyway, so then we come over here, caution sign. I've caution taped off this little area. We had a couple of extra poles this year because I used less than last year. So we just have an extra one here to hold this caution tape up instead of taping it to the wall, which works so much better than it did last year because it was constantly falling down last year. But because this is hammered into the ground, it will not do that, except I did have to put some water down there so the dirt would turn to mud and be less clumpy, but now it's staying in there perfectly. Anyway, we go through here. Maybe I'll get a couple more poles and keep the caution tape going. I honestly don't know. Then you walk up here. You'll keep going through here. And then you'll walk out here. And that is it. Then you'll just walk out the end right here and get candy, or you can walk from there if you don't even want to go through the haunted trail and get candy, or you can walk out of the haunted house and get candy. So it's kind of a perfect design. But yeah, thank you. Or actually, no, I don't even think I'm going to end the video here, because I still have a ton of time to do stuff. It's only like 5 o'clock right now, which is pretty shocking. So yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next update. Okay, so this is the last update for this video, but as you can tell, it is nighttime now. That's why I have the flashlight on my phone. As you can see, I finally got the mausoleum entrance assembled. I had to do it by myself, so it took me like literal like 2 hours to do, but I finally did it. So I don't have the hauntress or anything up yet, but super cool looking. So then you walk through here. Sorry if the light that I have on is ruining the vibe. I just don't want you to miss anything. So then we come onto my graveyard scene, which, as you can tell, I haven't put any lighting up yet, but you can kind of see it right there. Yeah, it'll look way better in the daytime walkthrough. But then, as you move through, we have my pumpkin patch. And then, yeah, that's about it. So, I believe that this is going to be the end of the video, and I will just update tomorrow. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and bye.